The aliens arrived without warning. Their ships were vast and silent, casting an eerie shadow over the city. From all the people on Earth, they chose 10. These 10 were a mix of different backgrounds and cultures. These 10 humans were not special. They were ordinary individuals, living their everyday lives. Now these 10 souls faced a challenge unlike any they had ever encountered. The aliens proposed a test that would determine their fate. Their survival depended on passing this test. Failure was not an option. It was designed to measure their logic and reasoning skills. If the group failed, the aliens made a grim promise. They would all be eaten. The thought of being devoured by these creatures filled them with dread. However, if they succeeded, they would be spared. Their lives would be saved. The aliens wanted proof of highly logical, cooperative beings. They sought to understand human intelligence. The fate of the 10 humans rested on their ability to think clearly and work together as a team. The 10 chosen humans felt a deep chill of fear. The weight of their responsibility was immense. They were brought before the aliens, their hearts pounding with anxiety. They did not know what this test would involve. The uncertainty was terrifying. They had ordinary lives, jobs, and families. They were not prepared for this. Suddenly, they were thrust into an extraordinary situation. Everything changed in an instant. They had to confront beings of immense intelligence. The aliens were far superior in knowledge. Their only weapons were their own minds. They had to rely on their intellect. They needed to remain calm. Panic would only lead to failure. The test, when revealed, seemed deceptively simple. But appearances can be deceiving. It was a puzzle involving hats, a test of logic and observation. Each of the 10 humans would have a hat placed on their head. They could not see their own hat. The hats would be one of two colors, black or white. They had to figure out the color of their own hat. They had to deduce the unseen. Their logic and cooperation would be put to the ultimate test. The aliens explained the rules in a calm yet authoritative manner, ensuring that every human understood the gravity of the situation. The 10 humans were instructed to stand in a single file line, their faces showing a mix of anxiety and determination. They would be arranged by height, creating a clear visual hierarchy among them. The tallest person was positioned at the back, while the shortest stood at the front, emphasizing the order. Everyone had to face forward, maintaining a strict formation without any deviation. They could only see the backs of the people in front of them, adding to the tension and uncertainty. They were strictly forbidden from turning their heads or stepping out of line, under any circumstances. Each individual would receive a hat, either black or white, handed out by the aliens. The colors were assigned randomly, with no discernible pattern. They would not know the total number of black or white hats, adding to the challenge. The guessing would begin with the person at the back, person 10, who had the most information. Person 10 could see the hats of all 9 people in front, giving them a slight advantage. They had to announce their guess for their own hat color loudly and clearly. They could only say black or white, with no room for hesitation. No other words, sounds, or gestures were allowed, ensuring the process remained fair and controlled. Any deviation from these rules would result in dire consequences, as warned by the aliens. The group would pass the test if at least 9 out of 10 guessed correctly, a daunting task under pressure. They were given 5 minutes to discuss a strategy, a brief moment to plan their survival on this razor's edge. Those 5 minutes were critical. They had to devise a plan. Their lives depended on it. Panic was not an option. They needed to communicate despite the strict rules. The key lay with person 10. Person 10 could see the hats of the 9 people in front. Person 10's guess would be a message. If they saw an odd number of black hats, they would say black. If they saw an even number, they would say white. This would signal the parity of black hats to everyone else. Consider person 9. They cannot see their own hat or person 10's hat. They heard person 10's announcement. If person 10 said black, the sum of black hats is odd. Person 9 counts the black hats in front. If they see an even number, their hat must be black. If they see an odd number, their hat must be white. This logical process continues down the line. Each person uses the parity information. They count the hats in front and deduce their own hat color. This ensures at least 9 correct guesses. This strategy transforms a game of chance into a solvable problem, turning randomness into a calculated effort. Person 10's guess is a deliberate act of communication, a signal to the rest of the group. It conveys vital information about the parity of black hats, a crucial piece of the puzzle. Person 10 takes a personal risk with a 50-50 chance, knowing the outcome could go either way. Their guess might be wrong, but it enables certainty for the others, paving the way for a collective success. Each person uses the initial parity information, carefully analyzing what they see. They observe the hats in front and incorporate known hat colors, making informed decisions. They perform a simple logical calculation, ensuring accuracy. This ensures at least 9 correct guesses, a remarkable achievement. The humans prove themselves to be highly logical, showcasing their collective intelligence. They earn their survival through reason, celebrating their triumph over uncertainty.